Have you ever poured your heart out only to be met with silence? Chase someone, giving everything, time, pride, soul, just to be overlooked? Why do we crave those who pull away? Why do we yearn for what feels untouchable? Niccolo Machiavelli, the architect of power, never wrote about love, yet his insights, sharp as blades, pierce the human heart. He knew what's common is ignored, what's rare is chased. How many times have you begged for attention, sent messages that went unanswered, your chest tight with doubt? The truth stings. The more you plead, the less you're seen. The more you bend, the less you're wanted. Machiavelli doesn't teach you to deceive. He teaches you to rule yourself, to be a man who doesn't chase because his worth draws others in. Love isn't a gift you toss at someone's feet. It's a silent duel of presence and distance. Have you noticed how you desire those who hold back? How their restraint pulls you like gravity? Machiavelli said a prince should be loved and feared. If one must choose, let it be feared. Not through cruelty, through respect, through being untouchable, through being rare. The first rule cuts deep. Become the prize. Not the hunter, but the citadel. Stop bartering your dignity. Have you been the man who waits for a reply, questioning his value? That man doesn't spark desire. He begs for scraps. But the man who lives for himself, who builds an inner empire, he's wanted. Why? Because he's whole. Because he stands tall. Becoming the prize isn't pride, it's discipline. It's choosing your core over craving. Have you felt the weight of erasing yourself for someone? Of silencing dreams, shifting plans just to avoid loneliness? That's not love, it's surrender, and surrender earns no respect. Machiavelli saw power as a game of scarcity. Love is no different. What's always there loses its shine. Have you seen a pearl treated like gravel? Number because it's rare. If you're always available, always saying yes, always explaining, you're gravel. But when you nurture your life, body, mind, purpose, you become the pearl. And pearls don't beg to be found. Why do we chase what's out of reach? Because we want what we can't fully grasp. Carl Jung said, what you resist persists. If you resist your own strength, if you keep shrinking, the void lingers. But when you're enough for yourself, others' desire awakens. Not through games, through truth, through being a man who doesn't need anyone to feel complete. This rule demands courage. It demands facing the fear of rejection. Have you held back a no, scared of losing someone? Swallowed disrespect to keep peace? That's not peace, it's defeat. The man who becomes the prize embraces solitude. He knows his company is a privilege, not a handout. Those who can't see that don't deserve his time. Pause now. Recall a moment you betrayed yourself for someone. What did it cost? Your strength? Your pride? Machiavelli doesn't teach you to toy with others. He teaches you not to toy with yourself. Becoming the prize is stopping the chase. It's walking with purpose. Knowing those who value you will walk beside you. It's being the man who doesn't beg, but beckons. Are you ready to claim your worth? Or do you still fear the silence of waiting? This is your moment. Choose to stand, not to kneel. Choose to be the citadel, not the beggar. The journey starts here. What makes someone unforgettable? Not grand gestures, not endless words. It's the riddle, the space you leave for imagination to wander. Machiavelli knew, reveal everything, and you lose everything. The second rule is to be a riddle, not through deceit, through depth, through knowing not everyone earns the key to your soul. Have you ever bared your heart in a single breath? Shared every scar, hope, fear, thinking it would bind you closer? What happened? They drifted away. Why? Because the obvious doesn't captivate, because what's given freely has no worth. Machiavelli said a leader never shows his full hand. In love, it's the same. Guard your treasures. Let her yearn to uncover them. Think of a painting. You linger on the one that hints, not the one that screams. Have you been the painting that shows every stroke, that leaves no questions, and felt the sting when their interest faded? Being a riddle is different. It's sharing just enough to intrigue. It's revealing strength, but veiling wounds. It's offering a glimpse, not the whole canvas. This isn't coldness, it's reverence for yourself. Have you felt the weight of a well-timed silence? Of a glance that speaks louder than words? The woman watching you wants to explore, to unravel. But if you lay everything bare, there's nothing to seek. Have you felt the burden of being predictable? Of being the man who holds no surprises? Machiavelli understood the rhythm of power. In love, there's a rhythm too. It's push and pull. It's presence and pause. Have you tried to fill every silence with words, gestures, pleas? That suffocates. But when you step back, not to play, but to honor your worth, something shifts. The space you leave becomes a call, a challenge, a riddle she aches to solve. Being a riddle takes patience. It takes trust in your own gravity. Have you rushed to clarify a misunderstanding, fearing judgment, hurried to prove your worth? Stop. The man who over-explains loses respect. The man who holds his secrets, who lets others fill the gaps, lingers in their mind. He's desired. He's remembered. Consider this. Why are storybook heroes so compelling? They don't spill their souls. They act. They reveal. But they keep something back. Have you tried to be the hero who shares too much and watch the magic fade? Machiavelli teaches you to be the hero who enchants, not by hiding who you are, but by unveiling with care, by knowing the sacred isn't for everyone. Jung said the unconscious seeks what it can't grasp. Her mind works this way. Give her something to ponder, a look that hints at depths untold, a word that sparks questions. Have you felt the power of a quiet maybe that intrigues? This isn't manipulation, it's knowing desire thrives in curiosity. In what's not fully owned, look within. How many times have you exposed too much hoping it would spark love? Handed over your heart unasked? Being a riddle is guarding your core. It's saying, I'm a world. Explore, but don't expect to conquer. It's moving with the ease of someone who knows desire blooms in the unspoken. Have you bared your soul, believing openness would win love, only to face indifference? Machiavelli knew. What's given without effort loses value. Being a riddle is sharing fragments, never the whole. It's being a story with hidden chapters she longs to read. It's standing as a mystery, not a manual. This is your power. Use it wisely and she'll chase the truth of you. Have you ever lost your grip? Felt your blood boil? Words spill? Desperation take over? How many times have you acted on impulse, only to regret it? The third rule of Machiavelli is to master your emotions, not to bury them, to command them. For the man who's swept away is a leaf in the wind, but the one who rules himself is a mountain. Have you sent a message you wished you could unsend? Demanded answers? Bared your weakness? What did it gain? Silence, or worse, pity. Machiavelli knew, a leader shaken by chaos loses respect. In love, it's the same. Unchecked emotions don't draw, they choke. Have you felt the weight of being the man who begs, who crumbles at a delay, a slight, a test? The woman watching doesn't want a boy who reacts. She wants a man who responds, who pauses, who breathes. Have you seen someone stay steady in a storm? How it commands respect. Machiavelli said a prince must seem unmoved by tides, not because he's numb, because he chooses what to show. Have you let your fears speak louder than your strength? Mastering your emotions is sovereignty. It's feeling rage, longing, dread, and still choosing. Have you snapped at a jab and watched her desire fade? Seen how insecurity repels? The man who commands his emotions is rare. He doesn't erupt, doesn't grovel. He observes, he decides. And that stillness is magnetic. Think, why does controlled restraint captivate? Because it signals strength. A world within that doesn't crack. Have you tried to win with haste, with need, and seen it backfire? Machiavelli teaches you to be the man who doesn't bow to turmoil, who meets her silence with a nod, who moves forward because he values himself. Jung said, "He who looks outward dreams. He who looks inward wakes." Mastering your emotions is waking. It's seeing the storm and choosing calm. Have you felt the power of saying "not now" instead of lashing out? Of waiting before replying? That pause is your crown. It sets you apart. It earns her respect. It's not easy. You'll stumble. You'll react poorly. You'll feel the urge to chase. But each time you pause, each time you choose, you grow. Have you tried to be the man who stands firm? Felt how it shifts the tide? Machiavelli doesn't ask you to be stone. He asks you to be king, to feel deeply yet hold the throne. Pause. Recall a time you lost control. What did it cost? Respect? Desire? Mastering your emotions isn't denying your humanity. It's honoring it. It's saying, "I feel, but I choose." It's being the man who, in a trial, doesn't break. And that strength makes her not just want you, but revere you. Have you felt the void of acting without thought? Seen desire slip because your need spoke loudest? Machiavelli knew. A man who doesn't tame his emotions doesn't shape his fate. In love, haste is poison. Need is weakness. But calm, deliberate choice is power. It's what makes you a man, not a boy. Have you tried to silence your emotions, pretending you don't care? That fails. Machiavelli teaches you to govern, not erase. It's feeling the fire but not letting it burn you. It's wanting, yet not crawling. It's loving, yet keeping your honor. The man who masters his emotions doesn't just attract, he commands awe. He becomes the mountain others seek to climb, not the leaf they watch drift away. Have you ever given too much? Taken disrespect, swallowed slights, said yes when you meant no? How often have you mistaken kindness for weakness? The fourth rule of Machiavelli is to set boundaries, not with anger, with resolve. For the man without borders isn't loved. He's trampled, and respect is the seed of desire. Have you laughed at a jab that cut deep, ignored delays, silence, scorn, just to seem easygoing? What did it gain? Less respect, less desire. Machiavelli knew, a prince who doesn't guard his realm loses it. In love, it's the same. Boundaries are your stronghold. They say, "I value myself." Have you felt the ache of not standing up? Setting boundaries is simple. It's saying, "This I won't allow." It's rejecting what diminishes you, with calm, with clarity. Have you tried to be the man who always pleases? Seen how it drains you? Machiavelli teaches you to be the man who chooses, who doesn't fear losing those who don't honor him, for they don't deserve his time. Think, why is the man who says no so compelling? Because he has a spine. Because he's a fortress, not a doormat. Have you seen a woman test you? A late arrival, a sharp word, a long silence. She's asking, "Do you love yourself enough to stop me?" Have you answered with a steady, "This doesn't work"? That answer changes everything. Have you accepted less than your worth, fearing loneliness? That's not kindness. It's abandoning yourself. Machiavelli calls you to be the man who says no as easily as yes, who doesn't dread the void because his worth is enough. Have you felt the power of honoring yourself, of standing firm? The fifth rule is the mightiest. Live your purpose. Don't make her your world center. Make her a guest. Have you dropped your goals for someone? Let your routines, dreams, essence orbit a woman? That's not love. It's worship. And idols fall. Machiavelli said a prince must have a cause greater than affection. Do you have one? Living your purpose builds an inner empire. It's training, creating, striving, even when your heart's distracted. Have you felt the void of living for another? Of losing your anchor? The man with purpose doesn't wait to be chosen. He chooses. He loves but doesn't erase himself. And that strength is irresistible. Look within. What drives you? What gets you up? Are you a man with purpose or one seeking approval? Machiavelli calls you to be king, to love without bending, to want without groveling. Have you felt the power of walking your path even when she doesn't reply? That's your crown. Have you lived aimlessly, circling someone, hoping they'll complete you? Machiavelli knew, a man without purpose is a subject, not a king. In love, desire springs from strength, from direction, from the man who invites but doesn't halt. That's the man she can't forget. If this struck a chord, write in the comments, I claim my throne. Write it for yourself to remember. Subscribe if you crave more truths that cut, heal, awaken. This channel isn't about seduction, it's about sovereignty, about being the man who doesn't beg, but beckons. You've seen the mirror. Now choose, kneel or reign. Have you felt the weight of living without purpose? Of chasing someone to fill your voids? Machiavelli offers a path. It's not about winning a woman, it's about winning yourself, about being the man who doesn't need to chase because his presence pulls, about being the king who invites but never stops walking. Have you looked back and seen the cost of losing yourself? Of yielding, begging, forsaking your core? Machiavelli spoke of power, not love, but the greatest power is over yourself. These rules become the prize. Be a riddle, master emotions, set boundaries, live your purpose, aren't about capturing a woman. They're about not betraying you. Have you felt the strain of chasing someone? Of twisting yourself to be accepted? Each time you bend, you chip away at your soul. Machiavelli knew, a man who doesn't rule his heart rules nothing. Have you tried to please everyone only to feel hollow? The real conquest is within. It's claiming your inner throne. Think, why is the man who honors himself so desired? Because he's rare. Because he doesn't grovel. Have you seen someone who needs no approval? How it draws others. Machiavelli teaches you to be that man, not through arrogance but clarity, through knowing your worth doesn't hinge on anyone's gaze. Have you sidelined your dreams for a woman? Let your routines, goals, essence revolve around her? That's not love, it's need, and need repels desire. Machiavelli said a prince must have a purpose beyond affection. Do you have one? Something that pulls you from bed, even when your heart aches. Living your purpose makes you whole. It's training when no one watches, creating when no one claps, walking forward even when she's silent. Have you felt the strength of staying true to your path? Of being bigger than your wants? That's the man she can't shake. Because he doesn't need her, he invites her. Jung said, he who looks outward dreams, he who looks inward wakes. These rules are a call to wake, to see where you've betrayed yourself. Have you acted on impulse, begged for attention, settled for less? Each mistake is a lesson. Each fall, a chance to rise stronger. Pause. Ask yourself, who do you want to be? The man who chases, or the one who strides? The one who begs, or the one who beckons? Machiavelli doesn't teach you to manipulate. He teaches you to be sovereign, to love without erasing yourself, to want without crumbling. Have you tried to be everything to someone only to become nothing to yourself? Machiavelli knew, a man without boundaries lacks respect. A man without purpose lacks direction. In love, desire grows from strength, from clarity, from the man who knows who he is and where he's going. These rules aren't easy. They demand courage. They demand facing your fears. Have you feared loneliness? Feared rejection? Machiavelli calls you to embrace those fears, to make solitude your ally, to know your company is enough. Are you ready to stand tall, even when it hurts? Have you stared in the mirror and seen a man who betrayed himself, who yielded, begged, lost his way? Machiavelli offers a way out. It's not about winning her, it's about winning you, about being the man who doesn't need to chase because his presence pulls, about being the king who doesn't kneel. Have you felt the void of living for another, of letting someone else define your worth? Machiavelli's rules are blades, not to cut others, but to carve your own path, to shape a man who loves fiercely, yet stands firm, who wants deeply, yet holds his ground, who invites, but never begs. If this resonates, write in the comments, I claim my throne. Let it be your vow. Subscribe for more truths that pierce, mend, awaken. This isn't about seduction. It's about sovereignty, about being the man who commands his heart, not one who surrenders it. Have you tasted the freedom of being enough? Of walking without needing anyone to complete you? Machiavelli spoke of sovereignty, not romance. Yet his 5 rules, become the prize, be a riddle, master emotions, set boundaries, live your purpose, are about that. About being a man who doesn't beg, but beckons, who doesn't kneel, but reigns. Have you looked back and seen the toll of betraying yourself? Of yielding, pleading, losing your core? Each time you crumble, you fade. Machiavelli knew, a man who doesn't govern himself governs nothing. Have you tried to please, only to feel empty? The true victory is within. It's sitting on your heart's throne. Think, why is the sovereign man so desired? Because he's rare. Because he seeks no validation. Have you seen someone unshaken by chaos? How it captivates. Machiavelli teaches you to be that man. Not through coldness, but clarity. Through knowing your worth stands alone, untouched by others' whims. Have you forsaken your dreams for a woman? Let your life orbit her? That's not love, it's worship. And worship crumbles. Machiavelli said a prince must have a cause greater than affection. Do you? Something that stirs you, even when your heart's heavy? Living your purpose makes you whole. It's what makes you wanted. Have you felt the power of walking your path? Of rising above your wants? That's the man she can't forget, because he doesn't make her his world. He invites her into his. Jung said, "What you resist persists. If you resist your strength, the void lingers. But when you're enough, desire blooms." Ask yourself, who do you choose to be? The man who chases, or the one who strides? The one who begs, or the one who beckons? Machiavelli calls you to wake, to see where you've betrayed yourself. Have you acted rashly, settled for less? Each misstep is a lesson. Each fall, a call to reign. Have you tried to be everything to someone, only to lose yourself? Machiavelli knew, a man without boundaries earns no respect. A man without purpose has no path. In love, desire springs from strength, from direction, from the man who knows his place and his aim. These rules demand courage. They demand facing your fears. Have you feared solitude? Rejection? Machiavelli calls you to embrace them, to know your company is enough. Are you ready to be the man who doesn't chase? Who doesn't beg but pulls others toward him? If this moved you, write in the comments, "I claim my throne." Write it to anchor yourself. Subscribe for more truths that cut, heal, awaken. This channel isn't about seduction. It's about sovereignty, about being the man who rules his heart, not one who hands it over. Have you felt the weight of living without aim? Of chasing someone to fill your gaps? Machiavelli offers a choice. It's not about winning her, it's about winning you. About being the man who doesn't need to chase, because his presence commands. About being the king who invites but never halts. You've seen the mirror. Now choose, kneel or reign. Machiavelli's rules are a forge, shaping a man who loves fiercely, yet stands firm, who wants deeply, yet holds his ground, who beckons but never begs. Are you ready for that throne, or do you still fear the silence of standing alone? This is your moment. Choose to be the citadel, not the beggar, the riddle, not the open book, the king, not the subject, the man who doesn't chase but draws others to his light. Claim your throne. The world is watching.